All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I wasn't sure what stocks to cover, and then I decided to not do any stocks, and let's do an index review here. So I'm going to look at the NASDAQ, I'm going to look at the S&P 500, I'm going to look at the Dow Jones, and then I'll look at their equivalent ETFs, right? I'll look at QQQ, SPY, and then DIA on this thing, right? So I think the theme across all of them, maybe not Dow Jones. I'm not that familiar with what Dow Jones looks like at the moment, but when I look at the Nasdaq, when I look at the S&P 500, what was this monster 4-month uptrend, right? All of a sudden, as I zoom in, since the middle of December, we've just been very choppy. All right. And it makes for difficult trading on tickers. It makes for what would be these amazing, great setups end up just failing. Like what normally was happening in this, like I said, several month uptrend, all of a sudden it's just whatever the index looks like kind of is what everything else is going to follow, right? When I look at the S&P 500, basically the exact same thing, right? Since that middle of December, we're going down, up, down, up, down, up. You can easily see and say that, hey, we went from down here to up here, but hey, I'm still seeing up, down, up, down, up, down, right? And you know, it's one of those things where what matters more, what's your time frame, what's your trading plan, etc. But to me, a guy that does daily and weekly kind of moves, I get that we went from down here to here, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down is still choppy waters, right? So really tough on these two indices. Like I said, I don't really know what the Dow Jones looks like. Let's take a look at that real quick. Oh, I would easily say better, but hey, since that middle of December, I mean, really since the beginning of December, this thing does the hard drop. This thing is just a big red, green with just a little bit of a choppy in between it, right? So again, a guy like me, I do more tech swings than anything. Sometimes a random ticker on the scanner will pop up, right? But I generally focus on those two. I think at the minimum, it's easy to say that there's a bit of disjointment in these three, right? So I'll look at these a little bit deeper. Again, we're going to use the exact same technicals that we would on a penny stock, on a big stock. We'll look at it the same way on the index, right? And I say it all the time. You want the ocean to be calm so that you can trust the boats to go deeper and deeper into the profits, into the waters, whatever that word is, right? So a little choppy sailing, oh man, that's definitely not what I enjoy. I can easily say that. All right. So before we do go any further, though, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do. We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly. Truth be told, since these are indices, I'm probably going to focus more on the weekly and the monthly. Again, I think it's important to zoom out on these especially, right? But we'll use the same five moving averages. I don't really draw too many because again, these should kind of be living with the moving averages. But hey, maybe I'll draw another. But at the minimum, you'll see some horizontal support and resistance lines. I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, excuse me, dang, all right, we'll try that one more time right here. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Hey, anything you can do helps so much of these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it. I also think that right there is a good example that I don't even know how to edit, so yeah, all of these are unscripted, unedited, just in case you're new here. So look, again, I say it all the time. It's really important to know what the index is doing. Realistically, all the indices, right? But at the minimum, if you're trading a tech stock, know what NASDAQ's doing. If you're trading more of a brick and mortar establishment, right, I would know what the Dow Jones is looking. And then again, I think the S&P 500 tries to be all encompassing. I think lately it's been a lot more NASDAQ and tech focused than it's been a good 50-50, right? That's why I kind of lump the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 together, right? But end of the day, like any random sector that we would trade, these indices are a sector. right? And to me, all three of them should be doing just about the same thing, right? I don't want to see any sort of disjointment. I want to see harmony, 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 right? And I said it in the opening thoughts. There's a little bit of that not happening at the moment. There is just way less harmony and more this one's doing that one's doing that, and then that one's doing that, right? And that always bothers me, all right? Personally, and I'll get to the details shortly, right? But personally, what I'm looking for is us to escape and determine what we're going to do. Look, as I zoom out a little bit, it's a lot more extreme right here. But we've seen these oscillating moments, all right? And it's never fun. We're sometimes here trying to guess what's making it happen, this and that, right? But hey, either you recover or you don't, right? And I think right now the oscillation isn't crazy. It really isn't. But I think we're just in a little bit too much of a limbo of, are we gonna go or are we gonna not? Okay. And again, just kind of echoing what I said in the opening thoughts, what normally would be a really good setup, oh man, it's going to be real hard. Look, I didn't cover them yesterday, but I mentioned ASTS. I mentioned the space sector, right? That's a strong candle, and to say that we were going to come down here the next day, I never would have guessed that, right? When I looked at lunar, I mean, it was close. It obviously wasn't as pretty, but yeah, I mean, we lost all of it and then some, right? Rocket Lab was another one. I mean, that's a strong, good recovery candle. Like, there were a lot of good setups that got messed up, mainly because, look, NASDAQ closes right here yesterday and then falls all the way down to open down here at 1906, right? You've maybe heard me say on the last couple of videos, hey, I like the red outline, right? There's red filled in and red outline. Look, this opens down here and closes up there, right? There's a lot of profit to be made, even though we obviously gap down hard, right? This does not make me as excited as these two, right? If these three actually, I kind of said that when you see these, there's sometimes a good chance you'll get an uptrend forming, right? I don't know if I think the same thing right here. I think the other thing, and you don't hear me talk about trend lines a lot, but look, that is not as, I mean, that is more steep, that is less steep, and that is even less steep. Like, it is starting to flatten out, right? And that's not what I like to see, right? I want this to go, all right, we failed it, but let's at least keep the same slope, if not maybe even go more hardcore, right? I don't want it to get flatter and flatter. That's not what we're looking for, right? So I look, it's obviously more 50-50 than it is, anything else, right? My thoughts are a little more guessy right here than they are. This is what I actually think is going to happen. But I think there's more bad on the 50, and I was trying to say what word to use there. I didn't really want to use the word bad, but I see more to be worried about here than not. All right, one thing I said, if you were watching the what is it called, the intro, look, I think it's important to zoom out a little bit and look more at the weekly and the monthly. Okay, and I think monthly especially, look, this looks like an amazing chart right here, right? All we've been doing basically since 2023 is bouncing on the 8 moving average and never losing it, right? And look, we see it on the daily. That was what we were doing for a while, right? We've had several, I'm trying to zoom out more and more, but this thing knows how to bounce on the 8 moving average and not lose them, right? But the daily, oh, I gotta close my door. I think my wife just got home. One sec, sorry. So the daily is doing the same thing the monthly did, right? But hey, after enough candles, everything is gonna come down, right? Just it is what it is, right? I don't know if this monthly is kind of saying, hey, we're gonna come back to the 8 one more time. We've been bouncing, so it's not that scary that we're gonna come to the 8. But I don't know if maybe we're about to lose the 8 and start heading down to the 20. Now, do I think we're gonna come this low? No. I don't. All right. We on the weekly we have a bunch of moving averages that are before that. On the daily we have a bunch of moving averages that are before that. By no means am I actually legitimately thinking to myself we're going from 19 to 16. That really isn't the point. But hey, maybe maybe for only the second time since 2023, maybe we have a shot at slipping below the 8 and then hopefully coming back and continuing. I don't think that's a wild maybe to throw out there. All right? And what that basically means to me is we might come as low as this. Maybe 18,200 or maybe as low as 17,600. I think between those two numbers, I can still see it being a healthy monthly chart. Look, the RSI is at an 85. It wasn't that long ago that it was at an 88. And then the week before that, it was at an 84, right? So these are wildly high RSI numbers. A RSI, especially on the index, should stop at 80, come back down, go back up, stop at 80, come back down, go back. Like the index is as textbook as it should get, right? So to see an 85 on the RSI and to see literally in a full 2 year window, we've only fell under it once. I think maybe keep in your back pocket that might come back and happen again. All right. Look, at the minimum, you know that this is a real strong 18,600 line. When I look at the weekly, we still have a very, very strong 19,200 line above that. And then when I look at the daily, we still have, oh, it's basically the same line, 19,200, 19,000 flat, right? So there are, and hey, let's be honest, we still haven't lost these three yet, right? We're going up and down, and oscillating, but hey, we still haven't lost them yet, right? So I think when I say that like 18-ish to 17-ish K number, I think it's again over the span of time. And I think really what might dictate some stuff is what happens with these tariffs, right? Again, we're not here to talk about politics. That's not the game here, right? But you know, there was a 30-day pause on the Canada and Mexico tariffs. We're not that far from that 30-day window coming to an end, right? And again, is he going to re-extend it? Is he going to lower the tariff? Is he going to just do it, right? Is he going to change the percent? Like there are so many different like, variables that can happen, right? But I don't know if we're waiting for that to play out, right? I think there's a lot of tension and war stuff that is maybe kind of picking up a little bit. I don't really know. Powell has said some stuff today. It sounds like, again, I don't think it sounded like anything too like I don't really know why it's so choppy, but I know this, and this is kind of the only educated technical thing I really have to say. I would say, that's a little higher than I was expecting. There's no such thing as safe in the market, but I think if this thing can get over 19,930, I think that's when I'm going to start trusting the NASDAQ more. Look, we are in a cluster of three moving averages. There is a decent shot that we just kind of stay horizontal and we even get a cluster of four right there, right? I think getting to up here is going to start making me believe we've escaped the cluster. Okay, you can even arguably raise the line to about 20,000 flat. That'll get you basically half of that, top of that, bottom of that. But I think that's a decent $70 difference right there. I think what would worry me is that's low. It's here. I think what would worry me is about 19,500 ish. If we lose 19,500, I think that's going to come down to that 19,200, give or take, that we saw on the weekly chart being the 20 moving average and that 100 moving average on the daily, right? From there, I think if we get that low, that's maybe when I'll start looking at the monthly more and wondering, hey, are we going to come down and do that loop, right? I know I was talking about the Dow Jones the NASDAQ that entire time. It's the exact same comment on the S&P 500. Look, on the monthly chart since 2023, We've only lost the 8 moving average once, and I think it's really incorrect for me to use the word lost. We only slipped under it once and got back up and rode back again, right? All I'm saying is maybe we slip back under and go back. I think the one difference is, hey, this is a stronger monthly chart. It kind of looks like, and yeah, we are over the biggest candle to the left right now in this monthly chart. So where the NASDAQ wasn't looking as pretty, oh man, I can't even say that. That's incorrect. I think I was making some random assumptions without looking at the good on the NASDAQ either. Interesting. Interesting. Nonetheless, I'm going to still hold my comments, but yeah, I see myself being a little bit wrong right there because yeah, both monthlies actually do look good. I think again, the RSI being high is probably something that's still going to ring a little bit of an alarm bell to me. 80 is where it should hit the wall and then come back down to like 60, 50, even a low 70, just so that it can reset healthy, go back up to the 80s, right? So look, I'm not calling crash or anything like that, right? What's this line? Is that supposed to be my golden line? I don't really have a golden line here. Where's that line? What is that line? Is that a moving average? No, that looks like a line I drew. Yeah, that is a line I drew. Interesting. It's a good line. Good things happen there. Nonetheless, okay, I'm bantering. I think that's way too low. I think for now, if I was going to use a low end S&P 500 guess, I would say 5,700. What does that look like on the weekly? That's basically right there. No, it's a little lower than that. It's basically right there. That's actually the bottom of that candle. Yeah, I like that. Again, you can see we have a good support at 5,900. There's actually a good support at like 5,800 something before we even get to that 5,007, which is actually all the way down here, right? So, um, just looking at it like that, what I would love, this is the line right here, and that's the easy one. If we can get over 6,100, I really love the S&P 500. I think if we lose I think if we lose 6,000, look, I'm basically 15 bucks under 6,000, right? But I think as we start to lose 6,000, I think the potential to come down to 5,900 becomes real quick right there. And again, I think it's the exact same comment that I said on the Nasdaq. If, and it's a big if, it really is, but if we get as low as the 100 moving average on the daily, that's where I'll start thinking about those monthly worries that I was talking about, right? But for now, look, all I really see is some choppy waters, and I don't know exactly what the news or what the headline is that we're looking for to fix this, but yeah, something's just real annoying with this thing. All right, lastly is the Dow Jones. Again, this one's a little bit disjointed from the other two. In some ways it looks like the S&P 500 because it oscillates down here and then goes a little higher and then doesn't oscillate up here, right? That is kind of what the S&P 500 was looking like, down here then up here, right? um that said, let me look at this one's monthly because I actually don't know. Dude, look at that. Exact same, exact same. Oh, well, this one had two hiccups on it, right? There was one right here and then there was one right here. Otherwise, yeah, this thing has not gone below the 8 moving average on the monthly since that same time frame, right? So again, I think it's way too early to be thinking extreme things. All I'm really doing is taking a little bit more of a zoomed out view than I normally do. And hey, let's be honest, my bread and butter is daily, weekly. I'm better at short-term reactions than long-term guesses because I'm not really looking at politics. I have no idea how world economic stuff works, right? Like it's easier to react to these lines a little short term than long term for me, but there are definitely others that completely disagree with that. And hey, you just listen to the long term lines and don't do anything for months and months and you just bank, right? So to each their own, right? Hey, I hope this was valuable. I don't do this too often, but let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if you disagree, oh, I appreciate you so much.